They say shadows carry secrets, secrets that follow you wherever you go. Maria thought she had escaped the darkness of Bucharest, but the shadows don't forget, and they don't forgive. Seeking peace in her grandfather's cabin, Maria hoped to escape the terrors of the city, but the mountains hold secrets of their own, whispers in the dark, shadows that move unseen, and eyes that never blink. The shadows follow. From the city to the mountains, they are always watching. Are you ready to see what Maria cannot escape? Stay with us to uncover the truth, or regret that you ever asked. Maria, exhausted from the recent events in Bucharest, felt an overwhelming need to escape the chaos of the city. She decided to spend a few days at her grandfather's cabin, nestled in a quiet mountain village. The journey to the mountains was calming, with the serene landscape and fresh air offering her a glimmer of peace. The cabin, though old and modest, was filled with warm childhood memories. When Maria arrived, her grandfather, whom she hadn't seen in many years, greeted her warmly. The elderly man, his face lined with years of wisdom, embraced her tightly. "Maria, my dear, I never thought I'd see you here again," he said in a trembling but warm voice. Maria smiled, a mix of joy and melancholy in her expression. "I missed you, Grandpa, and the cabin. I felt I needed to come here to clear my thoughts." Her grandfather nodded knowingly and led her inside. The warmth of the cabin, combined with the smell of burning wood, made Maria feel instantly at home. As the evening settled in, she found herself unwinding, enjoying the tranquility of the mountains. However, that night, Maria woke abruptly. A faint sound came from the forest, rhythmic and deliberate, like footsteps drawing closer. She peered out the window, but the dense darkness of the woods revealed nothing. The next morning, while drinking coffee on the porch, her grandfather shared a local legend. "This forest has its secrets, Maria. They say the shadows of the lost still wander among the trees. People who disappeared here, well, they were never found." Maria laughed softly, dismissing the story as a myth meant to scare children. But deep down, she felt a subtle unease. Later that day, Maria decided to explore the forest. She discovered a hidden trail leading to an eerie clearing. The sunlight seemed to avoid certain spots, and the atmosphere felt heavy. On the ground, she noticed fresh footprints, but no one was around. She couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, though nothing appeared. As evening fell, Maria rummaged through the cabin's drawers and found an old journal belonging to her grandfather. Among mundane notes about mountain life were entries describing bizarre occurrences, noises in the forest, silhouettes appearing at night and vanishing by morning, and repeated warnings about the shadows that come at night. One entry stood out: "Do not look into their eyes. They'll know you see them." That night, the cabin was engulfed in an unnatural silence. Maria woke to a faint sigh coming from the porch. When she opened the door, she saw a dark silhouette standing motionless at the forest's edge. When she shone her flashlight, the figure vanished, but the noises resumed, now coming from deeper in the woods. Terrified, Maria retreated inside, only to find muddy footprints leading from the door into the house. She frantically locked herself in a small room, where she knew her grandfather kept an old hunting rifle. Clutching the gun, she waited in silence, but the whispers stopped as abruptly as they had started. On the rifle, she noticed an engraving: "This isn't for ordinary prey." At dawn, Maria abandoned the cabin, leaving everything behind. As she drove back to the city, she tried to convince herself it had all been a bad dream. But as the sun rose higher, a faint voice whispered in her mind, "You can't escape." Perhaps the shadows in Bucharest were only the beginning. Perhaps the real danger lies elsewhere. Stay with us to uncover more about the shadows that creep into our lives, or to regret that you ever asked. Maria's journey is far from over. The shadows she thought she left behind are just the beginning of a much darker truth. What will she uncover next? To make sure you don't miss the next chilling chapter, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification. Stay tuned for more terrifying tales. You won't want to miss what's coming.